The world didn't end with a bang, it ended in silence. What was once a thriving human civilization is now nothing but dust, rust, and echoes. Skyscrapers lie broken, streets are buried in ash, and the sky itself feels lifeless. Whatever war happened here, humanity lost completely. And yet, in the middle of this dead world, something new is about to begin. In a dim, forgotten laboratory, a frail old scientist works with urgency, his hands trembling, not just from age, but from the weight of what's coming. Outside, chaos looms. Inside, he focuses on one final act. Piece by piece, he stitches together a small rag doll-like figure. Every movement is careful, deliberate, almost desperate. When he's done, he writes a single number on its back, 9. He leans back, exhausted, as if he's given away the last piece of himself. Then everything stops. Moments later, the small figure stirs, hanging loosely, barely held by a thread. It suddenly drops to the ground. Its eyes flicker open for the first time. This is 9, fragile, confused, but alive. He struggles to stand, taking in his surroundings. The room is abandoned, covered in dust and decay. It feels like no one has been here for years or longer. Then something catches his attention. A strange, glowing object rests nearby. It hums faintly, almost like it's calling to him. Without understanding why, 9 picks it up and keeps it close. Drawn by curiosity, he moves toward a window, and what he sees changes everything. The entire city is in ruins, buildings collapsed, streets empty, and no signs of life anywhere, just destruction stretching endlessly into the horizon. He tries to speak but nothing comes out. He's completely alone, or so he thinks. Stepping outside, 9 begins wandering through the remains of the world. Every step is cautious, every shadow feels like a threat. Then a sound, and a flicker of light appears in the distance, slowly moving closer. Instinct takes over. 9 hides behind the rubble, gripping a metal rod as the light approaches. He doesn't wait to understand and he immediately attacks. The strike lands, but what he hits isn't a monster. It's someone like him. The figure collapses, revealing the number 2 on his back. Older, wiser, and equipped with strange tools, including a magnifying lens and a candle-like headpiece. At first, there's fear, then recognition. 2 speaks gently, reassuring 9 that he means no harm, but he quickly notices something. 9 cannot speak, so 2 does something remarkable. He leads 9 to the remains of another broken doll, carefully retrieves a voice box, and installs it into 9. After a few adjustments, 9 finally speaks friend. It's a small moment, but in a dead world, it means everything. As 2 examines him further, he discovers the glowing object hidden inside 9. A mysterious device, strange, powerful, and important. But before they can understand it, a distant roar shakes the silence. Danger is coming. 2 quickly hides 9 and prepares to defend himself. Out of the shadows emerges a terrifying mechanical beast, part animal, part machine. Its movements are aggressive and predatory. It senses the device immediately and in a flash, it snatches the object from 9 and turns its attention toward him, claws reaching and closing in. This is it, but 2 intervenes. He distracts the creature, drawing it away just long enough for 9 to escape. It's a selfless act, and it costs him to be taken. 9 runs, injured and overwhelmed. Eventually, he collapses. When he wakes, things are different. He's in a hidden shelter, a safe place for now. Another ragdoll, marked 5, is repairing his arm with careful precision. 5 is cautious but kind, clearly someone who fixes things instead of breaking them. Just then, a new presence enters. 1, the leader, strict, cold, and focused only on survival. Beside him stands 8, a towering, silent enforcer who doesn't need words to be intimidating. They're inside what used to be a church, now it's a refuge. And here, 1 explains the truth, or at least, his version of it. He remembers waking up during the war, machines everywhere, and humans losing, the sky filled with poison gas that wiped out all life. The ragdolls survived, everything else didn't. Since then, others have been lost, taken, and destroyed. And according to 1, the only way to survive is to hide. But 9 doesn't accept that, because 2 is still out there, and if there's even a chance he's alive, they have to try and rescue him. At first, 5 resists, saying it's too dangerous. But 9 doesn't back down, and eventually 5 agrees. And just like that, they set off into the wasteland. The journey is brutal. A sandstorm rises without warning, swallowing everything in its path. Their map is ripped away and visibility drops to nothing. But they keep moving because turning back isn't an option. When the storm clears, they find something promising, massive tracks leading into a dark tunnel. It's a risk, but they take it anyway. It leads into a factory. Inside the factory, the air feels wrong, heavy, and mechanical. And then they find 2 trapped inside a cage, weak but alive. For a moment, there's hope, but hope doesn't last long in this world. Just then the beast returns, and just as everything seems lost, something else strikes, fast, precise and deadly. The beast is destroyed in seconds. Standing there is 7, alive, and strong. Everything changes again, but before anyone can truly process what's happening, 9 makes a decision, one that will cost them dearly. Drawn to a strange machine, he places the device, the talisman, into a socket, and in that moment, he wakes something that should have stayed buried. The brain, a massive, ancient machine. It begins to stir, then it attacks, energy surges. It then grabs 2 and drains his energy. His life force is pulled away instantly and 2 is gone. No time to grieve because now they're being hunted. They run, barely escaping with their lives. Outside, the truth settles in. This wasn't just a mistake, it was the beginning of something far worse, and the only way forward is to understand what they've unleashed. The air outside the factory feels heavier now, not just because of what they've seen but because of what they've done. 2 is gone and the thing that took him, the thing 9 awakened, is still out there watching, learning, and evolving. For a moment, no one speaks, the weight of it all hangs between them. Then 7 breaks the silence, her voice sharp with anger. She doesn't hesitate to place the blame where she believes it belongs, on 9. If he hadn't activated the machine, none of this would have happened. 9 doesn't argue, because deep down he knows she's right, but blame won't fix anything. They need answers and 7 knows exactly where to find them. Without waiting for agreement, she leads the group across the ruins, through narrow pathways of broken stone and forgotten streets, until they reach a place unlike any other, a library, still standing against all odds. Inside, it feels different, not safe but preserved, like time forgot to destroy it. 7 calls out into the silence. For a moment, nothing happens, then 2 figures emerge from the shadows. It's 3 and 4. They don't speak, and they don't need to. Their glowing eyes scan 9, flickering rapidly as if analyzing him, reading him, understanding him in ways words never could. 7 asks them for answers, and slowly they respond, not with speech but with a vision. Images begin to form, projected from their eyes, a memory, the truth. The scientist who created them wasn't just a creator, he was trying to fix something, to stop something. Because before the world ended, a machine had already changed everything. The brain, a creation designed for war, built to think, to adapt, and to produce other machines. At first, it gave humanity an advantage, it helped them win. But intelligence without control never stays obedient. The brain turned against its creators, against everyone. It didn't just win the war, it ended the world. And somehow, it went dormant until now, until 9 woke it up. The vision ends, silence returns, and this time it feels heavier than before. Because now they understand the truth. They're not just surviving in a dead world, they're living in the remains of a mistake. But there's something else, something important. 9 recalls the symbols etched onto the talisman, the same shapes he saw when the machine activated. 5 recognizes them instantly because 6 has been drawing them over and over again back at the church. Convinced he might hold the key, 9 decides to return to the church. 5 goes with him but 7 refuses. She has no intention of going back, not while 1 is still in charge. So the group splits and the tension only grows. Back at the church, things haven't changed. 1 is still focused on one thing, survival at any cost. When 9 and 5 return, they're met with suspicion and anger. 1 believes they've doomed everyone. And maybe he's right, but 9 doesn't back down this time. He asks the question no one else will. Who sent 2 out alone? The answer is obvious, and 1 doesn't deny it. To him, it was necessary, a sacrifice, because weakness gets you killed. The words hit hard, but there's no time to argue, because 6 is already reacting. The moment he sees the symbols, something clicks. He calls it the source, the origin, the beginning of everything. But before he can explain further, the world explodes into chaos. A new creature attacks, faster, deadlier, with wings slicing through the air like blades. The church, once their only safe place, is torn apart in seconds. Fire spreads, debris collapses, and in the middle of it all, 7 returns, not to run but to fight. She attacks the creature head-on, refusing to let it take anyone else. But this enemy is different, smarter, and stronger. Again, the survivors barely escape as the church burns behind them. Everything they had is gone. Now there's nowhere left to hide, so they go back to the library. It's the only place left. But safety doesn't last long in this world, because something else is already moving. Back at the factory, the brain is rebuilding, adapting, and creating something new. And this time, it's smarter than ever. Back at the library, the group tries to regroup, but tension is at its breaking point. 9 sees things differently now, not just survival, not just fear, there has to be a reason they exist, a purpose, and he's determined to find it. But before he can act, something moves outside. 8, standing guard, notices it too late, a figure familiar, impossible, walking again, eyes glowing and empty. Before anyone can react, it's already too late. The light from his eyes begins to pulse, hypnotic, and controlling. 8 doesn't resist, he can't. Inside, 1 sees it too and falls the same way. What looks like 2 isn't 2, it's a trap. A puppet controlled by something far worse. A serpent-like machine slithers into view, its body long, mechanical, and deadly. It uses 2's corpse as bait, as a weapon, and now it's hunting. 9 and 5 rush in to help, but the creature turns its gaze on them. The same hypnotic light flashes again, but this time, 9 looks away. But 5 doesn't, he freezes, controlled and helpless. The creature tightens its grip. Victory is seconds away, until 7 returns. Fast, precise, and relentless, she strikes without hesitation, pinning 2's body and breaking the creature's control. But it's not enough. The serpent lashes out and in a single moment, it takes them again, 7 and 8 gone. The silence that follows is worse than before, because now there's no denying it. They're losing, and if they don't act now, there won't be anyone left to save. The silence isn't just fear anymore, it's a realization, they are running out of time. 7 and 8 are gone, 5 is shaken, 1, for the first time, has no answers, and 9 finally understands something he didn't before. Hiding won't save them, it never did. The machines won once already and now, they're finishing what they started. But this time, there's still a chance to fight back. 9 steps forward, no longer uncertain, no longer just reacting. He tells them what needs to be done. They have to go back to the factory, back to the source of everything. At first, 1 refuses. To him, it sounds like suicide. But 9 doesn't argue with fear anymore, he challenges it. If they do nothing, they die anyway. That truth is impossible to ignore, and slowly, reluctantly 1 agrees, not because he believes in the plan, but because there's nothing left to lose. The journey back feels different this time, no hesitation, no turning back, only purpose. When they reach the factory, the air itself feels alive, machines shifting, mechanisms grinding, something massive moving just out of sight. This isn't just a place anymore, it's a living system, watching, and waiting. 9 makes a choice, he goes in alone. Before entering, he turns to 5 and gives him a final instruction: if he doesn't come back, destroy the factory no matter what, because if this ends, it ends here. Inside, the factory feels like a maze of metal and shadows. Every step echoes, every movement feels tracked. And then he sees it, the serpent-like creature. It slithers forward, dragging something behind it. It's 8, still alive, but not for long. The creature delivers him to the brain, and in seconds, 8's life is drained and he's gone. The machine grows stronger and more complete. 9 watches from the shadows, the weight of everything pressing down on him. But he doesn't run, not this time. Instead, he steps forward and makes himself seen. The creature notices him immediately, and releases 7 from its grasp, shifting its focus. That's what 9 wanted. As it lunges, he leads it straight into a trap, a carefully positioned set of moving gears and crushing mechanisms. At the last second, he escapes. The creature doesn't. Its body is caught, pulled apart, destroyed. 7 is free, but there's no time to celebrate, because something worse is coming. Outside, 1 and 5 prepare their own plan. A last resort, a barrel filled with fuel. If they can't stop the machine directly, they'll burn everything. But even that doesn't go smoothly. A drone spots them and attacks. They fight it off, barely holding their ground. Inside, 9 and 7 run. The brain has seen them now. It responds instantly, sending smaller machines, spider-like and relentless, crawling after them through the narrow corridors. The chase is chaotic, fast, and unforgiving. Then, the explosion, the fuel ignites. The factory erupts into flames. For a moment, it looks like it's over. Like they actually did it. Outside, the survivors regroup, exhausted, burned, but alive. For the first time, there's something close to relief, even a moment of peace. They find an old record player, music fills the air, crackling, broken but beautiful. A reminder of a world that once existed, a world worth saving. But peace doesn't last, it never does, because 5 sees something, movement at the edge of the ruins. The brain is still alive, not destroyed, not even close. Before anyone can react, it strikes and grabs 5. And just like the others, drains him too, and 5 is gone just like that. Everything falls apart again. They run across a narrow, broken bridge stretching over nothing. Behind them, the brain follows, faster than before, stronger than before. It climbs the structure as it creaks under its weight, metal bends and the bridge begins to collapse. 1 and the others try to fight it, trying to push it off. But 9 realizes something they don't. Destroying it like this won't fix anything. Because the souls of their friends, their family, are still inside it, trapped and suffering. If the brain is destroyed now, they're lost forever. So 9 does the unthinkable, he turns back alone. Back to where it all began, the scientist's lab, the place of his creation. Inside, he finds what he didn't understand before, a message, a final instruction and the truth. 9 finds a previously overlooked holographic recorded message to him from the scientist, explaining the origins and backstory of the brain, and that the rag dolls have his soul, making them the only hope for humanity. The talisman isn't just a key, it's a vessel. It holds their souls and it can release them, but only if used correctly. Now, he knows what to do, he returns. The final battle is already happening. The brain is tearing through what remains of the group. There's no time left. 9 runs straight toward it, straight into danger. He climbs, fights and pushes forward. but the machine catches him and begins to drain him. This is the end, until one step in. For the first time, he doesn't choose survival, he chooses sacrifice. He takes Nine's place, giving him the chance he needs. And in that moment, everything changes. Nine reaches the core, the talisman, he pulls it free. The brain reacts violently, screaming, breaking, and unstable. Nine remembers the symbols, the sequence, and the truth. And with one final act, he activates it. The machine collapses, explodes, and the world goes silent. For real this time, the brain is destroyed completely. In the aftermath, only a few remain, 9, 10 and the quiet echoes of those they lost. They gather what's left, create a small fire and lay out symbols for each of their fallen companions. Of remembrance, of grief, of closure. 9 steps forward, holding the talisman. He presses the sequence, and one by one, the souls are released. They rise into the sky, glowing, weightless, free, together, not lost anymore, not trapped, and finally at peace. As they disappear into the clouds, something incredible happens. The sky changes. For the first time in ages, rain begins to fall, soft, steady, and alive. And within that rain, something new, tiny signs of life, the beginning of something more. The world isn't dead, not completely. And maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end after all. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more animation recaps.